G'day guys, how are you? In today's video I'm going to show you how you can make we'll make a phone book, I suppose. How you can make a phone book, but how you can get it to work off an SQL database that's not linked to a server but rather the program inside, rather than using an Access database where you have to sort of drag the Access database to the location of where it is when you install it. However, if you were to install the application on another computer using the Access database, chances are the link, it won't be able to find it in the right place. So I'm going to show you how you can make an SQL database within your project. So let's get to it. So first of all, click on new project. I'm just going to call it contacts program, I suppose, or program preferably. And yeah, we're going to create the project. Oops. Alright, so it's going to bring up this form one here. Just drag it to however you like, really, it doesn't really matter. Now what we want to do is we're going to go to Solution Explorer. Oh, sorry, no we don't. We can do it that way, but I'll just do it this way. Go to Project and go to Add New Item. Now what we want to do is go to Data, just here, and select Service-Based Database. Now I'm just going to call it Contacts. So this is going to make the actual database. However, for the table, if you were going to have like say 10 different tables, you'd probably want to call it something a bit better to save the confusion. So once you've got your contacts here, the next thing you want to do is double click on contacts, and it's going to bring up this. So once you've got this up here, as you can see, contacts.mdf, go to table and expand it. Now as you can see, we haven't got any tables in there because we haven't created anything, so we want to basically create a table. So right click on it and go to add new table. So just here it's going to load the design surface. You'll be able to see in a second by what I mean by that. Okay, now that that's loaded, we've got it's very similar for those that are coming across from Access to the SQL but don't want to sort of have an SQL server. Which, I mean, there's obviously a number of reasons why you would not want to do it. For example, what if you wanted to publish this program on the internet for someone to use? They're not going to want, like, why should they use your SQL server? So this is going to basically have a database within the program. Okay, so the very first thing we want to do is we want to click on this so it's completely highlight this. Now if you wanted to, you can change the name of it to whatever you like. I prefer it to be in capitals, just personally. However, for my database, I'm actually going to have this visible. They're not going to be able to see it. However, I want it to still be in orders of numbers. So in order to get it to do that, we want to go here to the identity specification and change this option here to true, and it's going to go by increments of 1. So it's going to start off as 1, next one's going to be 2, 3, 4, 4, and so on. So good, that's done. Now we don't want to allow nulls because it needs to have a number. This is our primary key, it always has to have a number. Now, as for the name, I know that I've said before in previous videos about Access, you've always got to do an underscore. However, now that we're not using Access, that rule does not apply. So, I mean, you just write here first name. Give it characters of about 50. I've never met anyone that has a name over 50. Allow nulls, yes. For these ones here, it's not very important if there isn't an option there. Perhaps you don't know their first name, but you know their last name. Yeah, so last name, once again 50 characters. Address, for this one I would suggest doing 500 characters. I know 500 is overkill, however some people just have really long addresses. Phone number, and email address. We'll make it characters up to 100. Some people have got ridiculously long email addresses. Alright, so now that you've got that done, or in my case I have it done for my database, I'm just going to click here update. Sometimes it'll prompt you to save, like where you want to save it to, but I'm just going to save it to here. I'm just going to update it. If you do have to save it, just save it to your documents. I've just got it done as like database table. But if you want to change that, you definitely can. You could change the name of it in here. I could definitely call it contacts table. And if I now press update, it'll update my script. Just like that. And there we have it. It now has a better looking name. So once you've done that, just to be safe, right click here on the tab and save it. Yep, just save it like that. You don't have to, but I just did it anyways. Close it. Alright, so now that we're back to this window, what we're going to do now is go to project and go to add new item. Data should already be selected from when we were here previously. And now go to data set. And just in here, I'm just going to call it contacts table data set. Now this window here is going to pop up. Just click on the button here where it says Solution Explorer, if it would like me to. I'm going to refresh it just here. So it's got my previous table there. I could probably just delete that. I don't need it. I've got my contacts table. The reason why there was two there is because I had changed the name after I'd already saved and updated my table. So as you can see, all of our categories are there. So what I really just want to do is just click and drag it just like that to there. And now save it. So in here you can create your queries. I've made another video where you could log in using an Access database. So you could definitely do the same for this using SQL. You could also do the same if you were doing an SQL database from a server. You could definitely do the same. So yeah, just save it and close out of it. And now this part's going to look familiar. What we can do now is we can go to the, where is it? I think it's called data sources or something. There we have it, data sources. So now we have data sources here. We can click and drag it to our forum just like we normally should be able to. I mean, you've got a bunch of options here. I want to have it not as a group but more as details for all of them, so I'm just going to go details and drag them to the forum just like this. I'm just going to quickly change the font of this. Yeah, that'll do. As for our ID, I've set it so it's automatically going to put in a number, so I'm going to delete that part just to clean the window up a bit, sorry, the program up a bit. So obviously you can spend all the time in the world making this look the way you want it to. Chances are you probably not even want to make a phone book, but I've just chosen to do a phone book project just to show you a good example of using the SQL within VB or Visual Studio. I've made the address bigger because addresses can be ridiculously long sometimes. Alright, and we have our first name. Okay, just like that. I know it doesn't look the best looking app, but it's a good starter project for those that are just starting out with using or wanting to use an SQL server from within the project manager thing. So what I'm going to do now is going to add a button. It does have the navigator right here, but I mean it looks too generic. We want to make it look a little bit, it needs to stand out. So I'm just going to quickly do this. Make it 14, why not? So this is going to be my save button. Now what I'm going to do to know the save is I'm just going to double click on the save button icon up here. I'm going to copy this code and then I'm going to go to save here and I'm going to make it a try event, try and save it. If it doesn't save, so then or if it does save, messagebox.show, and we can just write in here the data has been saved, and we want to have information, and the button's available to press will just be OK. And after they press it, for this particular application, I want it contacts table binding source. I want it to add a new row automatically, and I also want it to select the first name. So it'll automatically put the, like, for the text to be added into the first box. If it fails, it's going to show a message. What message it is, I'm not sure. So if I put X there, it's going to basically tell us what the exact problem is. So that's for save. Now that I've done that, I don't recommend deleting this because it can be a pain to get back. So what I would do is I would just hide it, just like that. And now you can make it look a bit more neater, just like that. Save can go down the bottom. I need a delete button, so I'll just put a delete one here. Now if this video is going for too long, I do apologise. I just sort of thought of it, spur of the moment thing. Let's make the font also red. Yeah, and green. That's right, we'll make it green. Sorry, save can be green. Make it a tad bigger. And now for new, I'll put news up the top here. And it can be blue. Alright, now what you could do, I suppose, is number one, you can add a button and it's going to direct you in the location you want. What I mean by that is we want to be able to navigate ourselves through the program. But the only problem with this is if you've got, like, say, a million contacts, I mean, that's going to take a long time to go all the way to the end. So a way to beat this problem, we could add a combo box actually. Combo box. It can be there. And Gonzalez, and I'll make it 18. I want it to be slightly bigger. Just like that, I guess. It's probably too big, but you guys get the general idea. So what we want to do is we're going to click on the combo box and click on this arrow thing, and go to use bind items. So our data source will be from our contacts binding, and we want to get the first name. As for these last two, we don't want to change anything around, so we'll just leave it there. As for new, we'll add try and go to contacts binding source dot add new. Once it's added a new name dot select. If something goes wrong, show me what the problem is. Okay, I'm going to delete this just to clean it up. That was from our navigator previously. Delete. With delete, I don't want the user to press delete by accident and then they have to write in the contacts details all over again. So in order to do delete, what I'll do is I'll make a select case thing. So select case and message box. Are you sure you want to delete the current contact? Next one has to be the button, so message box style. Make it a yes and no one. And now we can put a title that says, so as for a title, are you sure? Excellent. So Cassie, message box result dot yes. Try. We'll just go here to contacts binding source dot remove current. And if it doesn't work, show me why it doesn't work. Message box dot show. You could definitely put your own error in there, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be an ID problem usually, although I've told it to automatically generate numbers, so it shouldn't, but it can happen. And we'll put another case, and so if the case is message box dot result dot no, then end the select. We don't want it to do anything. I mean, I'll just type in here nothing, but it's not going to do anything. So, and that'll end the select. Okay, cool. Now what I want to do is, with most databases, you always have to press new when you, if it is set up properly, you always have to press new if your database is fresh, if that makes sense. So because our combo box is binded, it's going to show the first contact. So what I'm going to say is if combo box 1.text equals nothing, then try, and we're going to tell it to press the button automatically. Oh, we'll add a new one, so we can say contacts binding source dot add new. And if there's something wrong, message box dot show. Yeah. Why? Okay, wasn't in capitals. Alright, so if the combo box has nothing in it, then it's going to automatically add a new table. That's cool. So this is just about done, this project. I'll just quickly fill this stuff out. This video has gone for 15 minutes now, it's probably too long, but I wanted to show you guys, you know, things that can happen and how to solve these problems. Another thing is, if you try and debug within the debugger, I know that doesn't make much sense, but it's been a long day. What I'm saying is, if you like add something new to the your database and then reload, like debug again, that data is not going to be there because it's in debug mode. So the only way to see if it's really working is to go to your bin file and do it that way. And like obviously execute the program live. Obviously we can make this a bit more neater. Yeah, why not? Just call it contacts. I think that's everything. Just one last thing I can think of. We can say if name first name, perhaps first name text plus text equals nothing, then the reason why I've just decided to do this is because if we add like a contact but I have no idea what the email address is, that I don't want to have to fill it out automatically. So this is going to say that if the text box has nothing in it, then just put the word unknown in there. We can always change it back later to, like, once we learn the person's details correctly. So I'm just going to fill this out for all these just quickly, because I might not know their address. Last but not least, if the email textbox.text equals nothing, then unknown. Cool, so you'll see in a minute, I'll demonstrate why I did this. Alright, I believe this is probably everything that we'd need. So let's go ahead and finally debug. Sorry once again guys about the long video, but I wanted to show you guys from start to finish on how I would do it. So here's our contacts. Now as you can see, it's automatically started here in the first name because our combo box here does not have anything in it. So let's begin by typing in some details. I don't know my address in Turkey, I don't have a phone number, but I have an email address. Alright, so now if I press save, there we have it, the data has been saved and it's automatically put in here unknown, and it's gone to the next because I've added a new one. Now I can go back and I can see that there's Andrew and there's the next person. So a friend of mine, Tyler Hickens, I don't know his address, don't know his phone number, and I'm pretty sure I don't know his email. I'm not going to put his address on the internet, you know. If I press save, the data has been saved and it goes to the next one. So there we have it. Now that's not good that that's like that. Now it's not going to save it because I'm in debug mode, but I can move like this. I can add a new one once again, so there's two blank there, and I can delete this one. So are you sure you want to delete the current contact? Yes. And now one's missing, so we press delete. Are you sure you want to delete the current contact? Yes. Goes to Tyler. Are you sure you want to delete? No, and it won't do anything. Just quickly, I would recommend that you make this so it's a read only. So in order to do that, go to the flat style and just go to, no, not that, sorry, drop down style, and just go to drop down list. Yeah, that way this can't be edited because I don't want to have to edit it. So once again, let's type in Andrew, save, and I can't delete this because if I delete that, there might be a problem. Last but not least, I will make it so it opens up in the center of the form, center of the screen, and I'll just go center screen. I want the window state to be normal. I'll go here to the loader. Some people you can actually maximize the window by right clicking on properties and going maximize if the program has been installed. So I don't want that to happen. So me.windowState equals windows.normal. So regardless if they tell the program open up maximize, it's going to always be normal. So now when I start the application, it's in the center and it's at a normal state. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like using it as a live program. So just give me one second and I'll open it up. So it's called here contacts program. So go to your bin, debug. This is for debugging to make sure that the database does work. If you're going to make an exe, there's plenty of videos online to do that, or I can possibly show you in the near future. So first name, Andrew, last name, Eberly, address, 123 Fake Street, town, Fake Town, of the suburb of Fake, and my postcode is 1234. My number is, yep, and my email address, this is the only thing that's real, my name is that. So now when I press save, the data has been saved and it goes to the next one. Pickens, 62 Fake Street, Fake Town, we're in the same town of the fake state. And yeah, so if I didn't know his phone number and email address, I press save, it's going to automatically do unknown, and there we have it. So now I can go through and select. So if I close out of this now and I go back into it, as you remember before, it wouldn't retain we couldn't get the data. However, now when I open the program in the bin file, the data is now there. Yeah. And there we have it. And it didn't add one by new, like it didn't press the new button because the text box had text in it, so it didn't do anything. So yeah guys, this is just a quick video on how you can use SQL, quick video, 25 minutes, on how you can use SQL and how you can make a phone book, how you can delete an entry or save it or go through this way. So if I want to delete this, I definitely can, and now he's been deleted from the database. If I click add, new, I can now put him back in here, just like that. If I wasn't too sure, like if I knew his phone number but I didn't know his address or email address, I can press save and it's going to be unknown. We're not really sure about the stage. However, if I wanted to then later go back, it will save, and there we have it. There's probably a problem there where each time I save it adds a new one. What if I didn't want to do that? If you didn't want to do that, just take away the add new part right here. You'll just delete that part and it won't add a new one. But anyways, thanks again guys, please comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos like this, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.